Barakata Yahawah, Barakata Yahawashi, Barakata Yahawah, Barakata Yahawashi. Call halalyam la Yahawah, Bahasham Yahawashi, Bahasham Rawchaa Qadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone GMS who rule well and taught me this truth. Shalom to the Yahawah, which is the house of David, and shalom to the sincere Akwath who are staying in order according to the scriptures. I'm your brother Shemayim, coming back with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. And like always, Lord willing, this lesson be edifying to the elect. All right, let's get straight to it. Uh, Salakia. There we go. It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 3, verse 17. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. So the Lord, Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, has an elect men that he has made watchmen unto the house of Israel only. Therefore, hear the word of my mouth and give them warning from me. All right. Therefore, hear the word of my mouth. Whose mouth? The Lord's mouth. And give them warning from me. We're giving warning to the so-called black man, Latino, Native American, right? The true biblical Israelites, right? The Israelites that might also look like the other nations, but ultimately, your seed line goes back to our forefather, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, making you a true biblical Israelite. So the Lord, wants us, the hopeful elect, men, the watchmen, the prophets, to give warning to you. All right. If your elders or your teachers, your priests, your pastors, if they're not doing this, right, then they out of order, man. They're not in the spirit of the Lord. All right, because you have to know what times we're in. All right, you have to understand that the coming of the Lord is nigh. All right, let me see if I can get that. Now through the spirit, right? Right. Let's get this right. James, chapter 5, verse 8, which just a quick, what the world would call a fun fact, right? In the Latino culture, right? The book of James, in the Latino Bible, the Spanish Bible, whatever, it will be el libro de Santiago, the book of Santiago, Santiago, all right? In English is James, all right? Just like Peter, the book of Peter, in Spanish will be el libro de Pedro, just for you, just a fun fact, so James 5 and 8, be ye also patient, all right? Establish your hearts, all right? And as a matter of fact, it's good that I'm bringing out this precept because we're supposed to be patient, man, because we're about to go through some difficult times. And this is the warning that I'm giving, you Israelites. All right. So you have to be patient, right? You have to endure, right? If you look up what the word patience means, right? Let's see. Let's see if we can get something. Search Google for patient. To be able to accept or tolerate delays, problems, or suffering without becoming annoyed or anxious. Forbearing, uncomplaining, tolerant, long suffering, long suffering. Having or showing patience in spite of trouble, especially those caused by other people. And ultimately, right, the scriptures speak about how, right, what other people is gonna bring troubles, right? Obviously, through the spirit of Yahawah Bahashim Yahawashi, the Lord is the one that is controlling these people, right? The scriptures speak about how all men's goings are of the Lord, right? Psalm 17 and 13, King David speaking, arise, O Lord, disappoint him, right? Cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword, right? Deliver thy soul, my soul from the wicked, right? The wicked, right? Job 9. You brothers know where I'm going with. Job 9 and 24, right? The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? You know, the world was given to the hand of the wicked through the power of the Lord, you know, and that's another precept. That's another, sit down, you know. But ultimately, the Lord did that just so that he can raise up Esau, Edom, right? The so-called white man. That's the true wicked. He's raising them up. This is why they have power over the world, right? Starting with the head tribe of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, right? The Amalekites, right? From the head tribe, Amalek, which is the 1948ers, the small hats, you know, the people that are in our land right now, in the land of Israel, you know. So that's the wicked. All right, that's who, right? If I go back to what I was reading in long suffering, right? Having or showing patience in spite of trouble, especially those caused by other people. So it's gonna be we already going through long suffering. We already going through troubles, right? We're already going through certain troubles, you know, since Esau been around. But you know, first and foremost, in this present time, in this last captivity that we in, right? Since the transatlantic slave trade, right? When these Englishmen, right, these French, Portuguese, Spaniards came to conquer all over the world, you know, and put our people in captivity, right? All over the Americas. Right. So, and there's gonna be more trouble. This is the point. There's more trouble coming. Trouble that we haven't seen since the beginning of time. Right. This is why it's important to have patience. Right. Now, let's go back to James 5 and 8. Right. It says, be ye also patient, establish your hearts, for the coming of the Lord draweth nigh. That's right. The return of our Lord Yahawashi cometh draweth nigh. And remember, the scriptures speak about how the Lord comes as a thief in the night. So no one knows when the Lord's gonna come back. But you have to be patient and establish your hearts. You have to get ready. What type of person you gonna be? Are you gonna be a faithful servant? Or you gonna be partakers, you know, of the wicked sins that Esau Edom pushes throughout the earth? So let's go back to Jeremiah 28 and 8. Or let's get Jeremiah 28 and 8 as a matter of fact. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence. So the prophets of old, this is what they were doing. Right? They were prophesying against many countries and great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence. Right? The prophets that were back then, they're back now, reincarnated in this present time, doing the same thing, warning you Israelites, right from the mouth of the Lord, giving warning of him, right? Because the Lord has chosen us, the hopefully elect. Lord willing, we found that 144,000 number. Matthew 24 and 6. Right? These are end time prophecies. This is the Lord Yahawashi speaking, who the world ignorantly calls, you know, JC, you know, Jesus. Matthew 24 and 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. You see? And if you open your eyes, right? Take out all let me just say it this way, clean your ears, right? And pay attention to what's happening all over the world right now. You definitely are hearing rumors of wars, right? Russia and China against the United States, Russia and Ukraine right now, right? Iran and Israel, right? Right? Taiwan, not wanting to be with China, but it belongs to China and the United States getting involved. Like if they have a say, you see? We're definitely in the latter days, right? BRICS, right, which is an acronym for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and I forgot what the S stands for. But it's nations that let me just get it. What does BRICS stand for? Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Right, is the acronym, right? The term was initially created by BRICS without South Africa by Goldman Sachs economist Jim O'Neill in 2001. He believed that by 2050, the four BRICS economies will come to dominate the global economy. South Africa was added to the list in 2010. And there's other nations. If you do your research, right? Because what BRICS is doing, right? It's is leaving the US dollar bill, right? Is separating itself from the world currency, which is the US dollar, and to get on a deeper level, ultimately it's just for the world, it's just the world transitioning into a digital currency, a cashless society. So we're not ignorant of Satan devices, man. But in the right, because that's the deeper sense, right? That the world's transitioning to a digital currency, But in the how do I word it? On the other side of it, right? Let's put it that way. On the other side of it, right? This is gonna cause trouble, right? Ultimately, right, it's gonna cause certain wars, right, between America and these nations. All right. So Matthew 24:6, and ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. All right. Be not yet. It says, right, if you understand when it says, see that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, right? It's speaking about the elect. The elect don't be troubled, right? Because only the elect is going to understand why these things are happening. This is why in time of calamities, in the time of calamities, Salakia, you're going to see that the elect ultimately is going to have a different countenance than the rest of the world. All right, so let's continue in verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines. So famines are coming, and pestilence. This crown 19 is just the beginning, and earthquakes in diverse places, man. One would say these things have been happening since the beginning of time, yes, but you have to understand, you have to be measuring the time diligently in itself and understand what times we're in. All right. Understand what times we're in, right? Because let me keep reading it because I got other precepts, So Matthew 24:7, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. So understand that all these are actually the beginning of sorrows. So worse things are coming. You see, when you read 2 Timothy 3:1, it says, "This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come." And when you go into the chapter, it says, "For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection," right? All these things, right? If you really think about it, proves that these preachers I'm bringing out, even though you can say in the book of Matthew that we've been having rumors of wars, we've been having earthquakes, we've been having pestilence, right? If you measure the time diligently and you put the prophecies that other precepts speak about, right, you truly going to understand that this is literally talking about this present time right now. We are truly in the latter days, man, right? Let me give you another example, right? The scriptures speak about World War III. Right? And like I said, if you open your eyes and clean your ears, right? Revelations 11:14, the second woe is past. Woe goes into destruction. The second woe, World War II, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. This is talking about World War III. World War III is coming. And understand that this is why all these other nations are getting riled up and ultimately gonna go against the United States, man. World War III is coming. This is how we know we're in the latter days. This is how we know that the earthquakes are happening now, the pestilence that are happening now, right? The nation against uh kingdom against kingdom, nation against nation, these rumors of wars, right? Prove that on this present day, what's happening right now, we're actually in the latter days, you know. From there, let's go to 2 Esdras 15:14. It says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands." And the modern day sword is, guns. So this is what's coming. This is what's coming. Woe to the world, all right? Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. Martial law is coming. A live purge movie is coming to a city near you, and all you unbelievers gonna be partakers. All you sinful, wicked are gonna be partakers of this live purge movie without you even knowing it, man. You're gonna be partakers of this movie. A lot of Americans are getting ready for this civil war and race wars. From there, let's go to 2 Esdras 9:1. He answered me then and said, "Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of these signs past, which I have told thee before." Right? And he answered me then and said, "Measure thou the time diligently in itself." Right? This is what you're supposed to be doing. Right? This is why these scriptures, right? This truth resonated with my spirit because it all makes sense, man. Everything that's happening around the world is being backed up by the scriptures. Right? Revelations 12:12. "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil," right? This devil, right? The word devil goes back to the word diablos, which means a slanderer, a liar, a deceiver, right? Who is this person, man? Right? This is a so-called white man. This is why we call Esau Edom, a so-called white man, a devil. And if you don't want to believe that, then cool, man. But the scriptures clearly tell us, "Trust not thine enemy." So if you don't want to believe that Esau Edom is a devil, then you know what? We can care less if you don't want to believe that. Believe what you want. But when you see these calamities, this is why the scriptures say, "Woe unto them that trust in Egypt," right? And America is spiritually Egypt. And spiritually Egypt is run by these 1948ers, the wicked. And if you don't want to believe that, then hey man, you lost. This is why, you know, in the time of Crown 19, right? The C19, right? Not to speak too much on it because I don't want this video to be taken down. But when the Venom shot was being pushed, you know, demanded, if you will, now 2 to 3 years, 4 years later, right? They coming out with that the Venom shot was never a cure. So now you have to, you know, come to a conclusion that, you know, you have some foreign object, if you will, inside your body. I'll say that. All right. So let me continue Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he has but a short time. This devil has but a short time. Understand this, right? Perilous times are coming, which that word perilous goes into danger. Let's go on to let's go into Matthews 24 and 21. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. So crazy tribulations are coming. All right. Understand that crazy tribulations are coming, you know. I was getting a call. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. You know, for the elect's sake, man. For the elect's sake, these days are gonna be showing these great these days of great tribulation, which ultimately is going to Jacob's trouble. Right? Ultimately is going into Jacob's trouble. And with that, you know, I pray and hope that you know, this lesson was edifying to the elect, right? The scriptures speak about it's a fearful thing to fall in the hands of the living power. So get right with the Lord, because evils are coming, which that word evil is a compound word, you know, you know, for ill and vil, you know, for timings or bad timings, you know, and that's truly what's coming. You know, I pray that the elect was edified. I want to close out by giving all praises, honor, and glory to our heavenly power, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rawchaa Qadash. Lord willing, on to the next lesson. Shalom.